This is the radioactive vehicle storage site or cemetery called Boyakivka. Let's go into those gates and check out what's there. First of all, we're gonna drive by all those little hills you can see here, and those are actually huge holes where radioactive waste has just been dumped and filled up with concrete, and then just left like that and marked with little warning signs. According to them, to the guards, the nuclides are not migrating, are not leaking from that, but well, I guess it's up to you to believe that or not, so let's see. At the time, they did not really find anything better to do with all the radioactive waste than this, so they just put it there. Vehicles, these tubes, as you can see, and well, there were no real methods of decontaminating all the vehicles, so basically that's why they were put there. But the guard actually supposes that soon they will be disposed of. Either they will be decontaminated and reused as scrap metal, or they will just be buried somewhere else as well. So they're not in the open, but they're buried same as the other sites. There's 600 units of equipment here, like trucks and tanks and everything. And you can see it in fast motion here, just walking past all these vehicles. There are endless amounts of them. Even helicopters, as you can see here. Even the helicopters have been chopped up, as it seems, and then brought here and are just rotting away there. Let's just go past those vehicles and take a closer look. Helicopters. Little wasps. Making them buzz still. Quite amazing to imagine how those helicopters were flying over the reactor that was totally on fire. And they were flying in insane dose rates and taking a look inside and dumping shit into it to make it stop burning. Behind this is a German robot that was used in the initial days after the incident, and it's highly contaminated. You can hear both the dosimeters going off. There you can see the sign on it. Let's measure it from close. It's been there for a quarter century, and yet it remains radioactive. Despite all the rain that washed multiple times, many times, washed off the isotopes into the soil, into the ground, but yet the vehicle remains very radioactive itself. Just comparing readings of the Altamas versus the Gamma Scout. Because as I said, I stated that previously the Altamas is pretty much gamma only. Well, the Gamma Scout actually measures beta and gamma radiation at any point because the tube is not shielded entirely. There's a shield in front, but on the bottom it's just plastic covering the tube, so it will pretty much basically measure beta all the time, at least when it's a larger source, not just a source right in front of it. So that's what I'm comparing. And let's take a last look at that nice little robot here that used to help in the initial days after the Chernobyl incident.
Just amazing.
Yeah, fucking awesome. Der Roboter ist voll geil. Awesome.
Awesome.
More helicopter parts. You can see where the engine used to be. And even more helicopter parts. There's something quite interesting going on up there. If we zoom in, you can see that the helicopter's engine is actually inhabiting lots and lots of insects. They inhabit everything. They don't care about the radiation levels. Besides that, they're not too high anyway, but yeah. Nature is everywhere. Look at those tires. It's kind of frightening. Shall we move on to some hotter stuff? Alright, let's go. Micro, and what does this one say? So the same value. Like 200 microsievert per hour from these trucks. It used to carry liquid waste. Liquid waste is in water they had collected below reactor number 4. Of course they're empty now, the water has been disposed of elsewhere, probably into a river, I don't know. But they're empty now, but still what remains in them makes them hot. With up to a few millisievert per hour. This is just a few hundred microsievert, but we'll get to the millisievert, don't worry. Even though, as I said, they are empty. And the metal provides some shielding. Here you can see that even from further away you get like 50 microsievert per hour. Really quite a dose from like 2 meters away from them. So the liquids have been disposed of somewhere else, and it's just what remains of the liquids in there, just a thin film or something that produces all this radiation. That's one of the largest spots of uniform high-level contamination.
Возили жидкие радиоактивные отходы из 4-го блока. Откачивали это самое жидкие напитки. Вот все вот эти две емкости возили цех дезактивации жидких рам.
Well, the water apparently was inside them, so wherever the metal is sort of intact, it will provide some shielding, but if you move to a spot where the rust has basically eaten through this thing, this container, then you will see truly intense levels of radiation. 500 microsievert. This is, well, going up a little, 500. Measuring it around the tires and on the bottom, well, sure, there's gonna be something, but look at this spot of rust. We're exceeding 1 millisievert, so I'm switching to the Altamess, and you can see that even the Altamess is reading 3 millisievert per hour here. That's one hell of a dose rate on a gamma-only device. You can see a radiation warning symbol in the back there, only just. And this entire rusty spot has totally leaked the radioactive contamination from inside this vehicle, so wherever you move it over that spot, you will get multiple millisievert per hour. Just imagine you were able to crawl into that thing actually, and measure the dose in there. I wonder what the dose in that thing is. Probably, I don't know, 10 millisievert per hour if it's coming from all sides, or maybe even more, able to make you sick.